design students, so one of the final sort of requirements for your burger illustration part of the menu is that you create a additional side item of your own design. And in this video, I'm going to spend a little bit of time looking at some options you could do, but you should be creative and look at food on the internet when you're doing it. Just some thoughts I have here thinking about it. You can pretty easily do like a nacho side dish by using triangles. I wouldn't use them exactly as triangles like I did with the cheese. I would convert to a path, get rid of the extra vertices you don't need, make this a little bit different, grab sort of a yellowy color in here. And I would maybe even spend the time to put like some dots or something on here, like it's a fresh tortilla chip. Copy a bunch, put them in different directions. And once you've done that, what you want to do is, like we've done with other things, make them faux 3D. So give it that slightly darker, crunchy edge like I have here. The trick is to do that sort of after you've done a couple directions, because again, you always want them to go sort of in the same direction. Get some eyedropper in here. Huh. Those are out of order. We'll do it this way. And you can start to, once you have a couple that are sort of set the same way, you can start moving them around and layering them up. And then you can put some toppings on it, much like we did toppings here. You can throw on some, some jalapenos the same way that we made onions, just made them slices but green. Throw some cheese and some sauce on there. That's something you could do and put together. I'm gonna move these out of the way. Another thing you could do is pretty simple, would be to do French fries. I would probably start with like a thin rectangle and maybe not quite that thin. And I would convert this guy to a path so that you can make him a little bit less uniform, maybe sort of shorter here and wider here. Same deal, go for more of a fried color. I had it, and then I clicked somewhere else. There you go. Sort of a fried color. Copy and paste in the back. Offset it a little bit with the darker color. And then copy a bunch here. You're going to want to make some changes to them individually. You can do some of that with your sub-select tool. You can sort of grab an edge and curve it in a bit like that, or pull it out some to get some variety. You see here, I just click and add a point, and that'll let me pull it in a bit. Just try to click and add a point and make them a little less uniform. And you can stack them up, put them on the side, maybe give a little catch-up thing. You could even make a container for them pretty easily. Just look like a McDonald's container. Another thing we could do would be a drink. Drinks are pretty straightforward. What I would do is draw like an ellipse like this, maybe I'm holding Shift and Alt here after copying to sort of give it a lip. So here I have this one beneath this one. No. Let's take this one above this one and give it just like the littlest outline, something like that maybe. And then to do the cup bit, I would take a rectangle here and line it up with the center bit. Convert to path. What you want to do is pull these inside ones in like this. And then curve this bottom corner. And then if you take these two in front, you start to see how we get this cup here. I'll make it like a bright orange cup, and make this a little bigger so it looks like it has a lip. Maybe it needs the bit that comes down there, so we can copy it like this to make our top look a little more straightforward. Something like that. Could make this color a little darker. And maybe it needs a straw. So I would just like freehand something like this. And then come back with your selection tool, just sort of curve these around a little bit. This guy looks like it might need a thing. You can even put some stripes on here if you wanted. I'm trying to fit a bunch of suggestions into this, so I'm not going too in depth into any of these, but another one that I think would be really cool would be onion rings. Now what I would do for this is I would make sort of a ring shape, and I would convert it to a path. And with the subselect tool, I'm just going to click along the path to make a bunch of extra points. So I'm grabbing and making a whole bunch of extra points all the way around this circle. And then I'm going to select like every other one. I'm holding shift here. I'm going to like just pull them in a little bit because I'm trying to make the edges of this circle shape I've made just a little more crunchy, a little less uniform, if you will. So I'm just going every other one, and I didn't come out perfectly, but that kind of looks all right. This could even be like a baked potato at this point. But I'm going to copy it, flip it upside down so I get some edge mismatch. I'm going to put it back on top, but shrink it just a tad. Needs to rotate a little farther. Something like that. Maybe we'll shrink it a little bit more. That looks pretty good. Whenever you mess up like edges like this, you can try to look over here at your angle of rotation and just be like, hey, I wanted this to be 180. There we go. I'm going to subtract one from the other. And this actually kind of looks all right, but if it didn't, what we could do is sub-select and select all of the little vertices here and make them straight again. And then use the corner tool to sort of, since my computer froze for a second there, use the corner tool to sort of re-curve them. It really doesn't seem to like that. Apparently it thinks too hard when doing that, but you can use it to sort of fix out and round out the edge. So let's take our newly made onion ring and give it an onion ring-like color. Something like in there. And I would do our typical, here, let's make this guy a single path. Copy, paste. Move the top one up and over a little bit. Get the bottom one a slightly darker shade. And then something like this can be grouped. That's here. And then I would just, shrink it down. And then what you can do is just sort of try to stack them a bit on each other. Maybe put one in front here. Shrink it a little bit. Something like that looks all right. Now, with any of these, since we have a nice shadow on our bun, you want to make another nice shadow using the gradient tool. But as always, we can work smarter, not harder. I could just copy the existing one I have here, you know, put it beneath my cup. You can see how that looks. We can put it beneath my onion rings. Here, it probably is a little too much, so what you can do is lower its opacity, which is right here next to where it says normal, to just sort of like fade it out a little bit. And that looks pretty good for onion rings. For French fries, we'll probably have like a lot at this point. So we would, you know, I do not want to copy, but you know what? We're going to just do a bunch here. Until you have a bunch stacked up, get rid of the ones you don't like, and again, you could shrink these down and get yourself a shadow underneath it. And in this situation, I would maybe, you know, resize my shadow a bit until it fits beneath them and gives us the look we're looking for. You can be far more creative than this. You know, I've seen in previous years people have done sushi, people have done all sorts of things, but you want to come up with some sort of accessory item to have a separate menu item. And you could have a second plate to go with it, or they don't all have to be at the top, right? You could have your burger by your burger section, you could have your onion rings by your appetizer section, and you could grab your whole drink guy here and put it down near your drinks on the menu. In the next video, we're going to be looking at how to start organizing where text would go on our menu, as well as how to do background patterns and such to give it a little bit more pop.